Hello, we're just opening the stream now, and we'll just leave it for a little bit until it gets closer to 6, and we'll start. Alright, and with that, I think we'll get started on this. With the storm today, we might actually cut it short just because of the internet or something, but we'll see how it goes. Like normal, we'll see how it goes. You'll see the name on this one is just creating. What was the name of it? It's developing channel frames. So usually I do an art on Saturday, but scheduling conflicts came out and that's not going to happen. So we have instead a we're just going to take some time and make a little design for a frame so that this play area here looks a little bit nicer, something to frame it or hide some of the stuff we don't necessarily want. So I just created a little 1080 here, 1080p canvas. I'm gonna just go ahead and grab some stuff here. So I want one of these probably. I want some of those assets. And we'll be in. Oh no. Why is that? I have a feeling it didn't get the right thing. Okay, so if I go like that, does this work better? And Infinity is just like the one I use for my. Okay. I think it's because it's white text, so let's go ahead and get a. Well, this stuff shouldn't be broken because this is. Alright, maybe we'll just not use any of that crap. We'll go back to the debug and I'm just gonna get a. What? Maybe if I do my layers, maybe. Can't see my layers because the screen's too small. I have to redo how I. Well, brushes. Can I use brushes? Huh. Interesting. I didn't think I could use brushes in this program. Or maybe it applies to the ink line? I don't know. In any case, that's not high enough. So let's get all of that. So I just made a thing that was the there we go. We'll just use the red one for right now. Just made a quick 1080 canvas because I knew I wanted a 1080 area to make, and new bug modified uses transparent. That's something to do with the settings. So sorry, it's on dark mode. I don't really want the. I'll probably start this one pretty similar to like when I do coding ones. I'm gonna go grab a document, which is I had it open, but I had it open. Nope, had it open remotely. Hmm. Oh well, maybe we'll just do it in here. So, where's my thing? Let's turn off these times. Let's turn off the welcome sign. And there we go. That looks pretty good. And what do we want? So let's start off this kind of similar to when I do some coding type things. Let's go ahead and get the text tool. I think that's usually under T. Yep. That's weird. Anyway, text tool being so we're just gonna do, what do I want to do? So this is to make a frame. This got weird. So I want it to make a bug-free frame for the channel, right? Escape B key. So make bug-free frame. And in order to make a bug-free frame, what do I need to do? So let's do a Alt-Shift, click, drag down. Here. Okay. I really hope this is under layers. All this bug is a separate thing. Let me just group. I want to make sure all that's grouped. And then the text is separate as a separate layer. Yeah, something that's a little different on here is that it's, well, I guess it's not too different, but just looking at in layers looks a lot different than what I looked at it in Adobe Illustrator, but it's pretty close, and the program actually runs a little bit better for me. So, make a bug-free frame. What do we want to do it? So it needs to hide. It doesn't really need to hide. What I really wanted to do is to have it have the, want to see if we can at least get the times in there. So that I can just kind of leave it on screen and I don't necessarily have to introduce the, read through it every time when I start, just kind of point out to it. So if we're looking at that, we're going to have, I want to be able to display this information, comment, subscribe, but also I kind of want to make it so that I can have maybe a URL for my um, URL for, like, if I start doing stuff, or when I start doing stuff on Twitch, or when I start doing, or if I have some links that I want to put in. So maybe have a spot where I can do that sort of thing. That isn't necessarily this basic text overlay. Just make it look a little bit nicer, right? Something that isn't a chore to read. And then we got this Tuesday, so the 3 times, right? Hopefully I can get that. I was thinking somewhere along the bottom here. So I was L-shape screen overlays seem to be doing pretty well. But I'm also wondering if a U or a full boxed in. Full boxed in gets through to a bit of the screen sometimes though, so I'm not totally sure and sold I want to do that. But I was thinking a nice L would probably be enough room for it to do, and it would still be pretty legible when I pull up encodes like programs like VLC. Not VLC. I used to do too much video stuff with VLC. Um, but it'd be a nice thing to use with Visual Studio. It would still be legible, and then Unity, it might get a little hard to read some things, but maybe we just make sure this margin bar is thinner or something. Or do something. Yeah. Which might come down to I'll just go online and rip the like, subscribe, comment buttons there, and then could do like a so if we not artboard, I want a shape tool. Where's the shape tool? I know I found this once already. Um, so we'll do escape V and see if we can get a. What can we put in there? There should be a shape tool. Maybe I'll just have to look it up real quick. Shape tool visuals. Affinity. Any design shape tool. Shape builder tool, shape builder tool. Settings, the following settings. If disabled, you can set up selected areas. That's not what I wanted. It's the shapes that overlap. There we go. It's in more because my toolbar is a little small right now. I don't want to do the shape builder tool. I just want to get some rectangles out here. So let's get some rectangles. And cool. Let's, in this rectangle, I kind of want to pick a different color. I don't really know. Something, I'm just going to block them off real quick. So now we're cooking with fire. We finally know where all the tools are at. Escape V, so we got this one. Then we're going to do a quick little rotate. And we're going to do a little bop, 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 bop. Nope, not scaled shift. So we got that in a nice little spot. Then this can probably be a little thicker, and this can be a little thinner. So what's the width of that currently? 191 pixels. Um, oh, that's the transform. I wanted, where is so this is the transform. So there's X. That's all position information. There's the width. Just want to make sure that's like 250 or something. I think 250 was the last one I saw that was pretty good. But for icons, they're only 105. So maybe we just want to throw that. Maybe 200 itself is plenty. So if we throw that down, these art ones are usually a little less how-to and a little more talk about what we do here. So how's that looking? Well, that's saying that the rest of our screen's going to be taken up there. How big is our object? Height is actually that way because it's rotated. That's a little okay. I could probably use a little bit less on there. Considering our other one is only like 150, maybe 200 or something's pretty. Or that one's 200, so maybe something like 250 or something. Because we actually want to put text in here and maybe some information. Look at it that way. Um, kind of thinking these bright little bug eyes. So these little guys, I never quite finished on the shape. So you'll notice that these are still all above that. So let's go ahead and I think it's just right click and I can go, or no, it's not click at all. It's just while highlighted, I can go up here and select um the punch down one. So it's subtract, and then I really need to go back and clean this up, but I'll probably never have time to do that. Uh, Such is life. So let's move that onto the other side. I think it's Control Shift bar. That's not it. That's not it either. Let's just select this one, and then I think it puts it on the rectangle layer. It's really hard to work in this little thing. I don't know. It's not it's not really their fault. It's kind of this screen space problem. This looks more usable. Let's walk it all the way back till the eye goes back in the socket. I went out of there. Let's copy it. Then let's create a new layer. Paste on that layer. And paste in place. And there's that one. So there's a nice little punch out of a thing. This is one of the things I think I actually want my rectangles to be something like let's see, how's color work? Here's a color thing. I think I just drag that over and I get like a pixel perfect color pick. There we go. Then I don't want any stroke lines around it. So now we have a red bounding box around our border, which that might actually be a little harsh even. So maybe we take and instead of doing a 1-to-1 on color, we Whoops, don't want that. Maybe we bring it down a little bit so that it's something like that. Just make it a little darker, a little less saturated. That should look kind of nice. That kind of brings out our blue a little bit. She'll look nice. Um, that's a bit too far. And at least we want to keep it within the same hue, maybe not the same saturation and lightness or whatever terms you particularly use. I know HSV comes from hue, saturation, and value, which comes from an illustrator side of view, and then like I know my design instructors were all about what was it, lightness, and it was they used HSB, which is hue, um, saturation, and black, and then there's a couple different industries that have different terms for all their stuff. Yeah, it doesn't quite make sense or always make the biggest impact, but like the words you use describe something, but just keep that in mind. Nobody really uses, even in design and art, nobody really uses the same terms, unfortunately. Um, yeah, I think that's kind of the color I like. Whoop, don't move that around. Move back to OBS because my thing's been kind of weird lately. And it looks like the comments are still on, so we'll get those off. One more reason, because then I don't have to try and remember to turn those on and off, which is kind of a pain. Um, so I use these as bullet points, but I think I'm just going to use them as placeholders for the images, for those icons for right now. So Alt Shift, Alt Shift, something like that. So we get this and this and this. And let's go ahead and do a layer. How can we affect that? We get height. So I want the height to be about 150. We just enter 150 by 150. Oh, was that not what? How does that work? How can one make it wider and the other one doesn't? This is 800 pixels. That's kind of weird. Because this is 1900 by 1080 tall. So how does that? Okay, maybe we'll delete that. Maybe we'll go back to get our shape tool, create a rectangle, and 50, and then we get this, and why don't we lock aspect ratio on that one? Then we'll just go get some color. I think we'll throw a, what do I want to do? I just kind of want to throw, maybe use some blues, because these are just like, link objects, and I think it's creating layers by default, which it does look like that. Yeah, layer one, and then a layer for that, layer under layer. That should be, yeah, that should be fine. So we go, and these will be circular, so these will look a little better. But we're looking at that. So this is about where our like button symbol will go. So let's pull that up again. It looks like, subscribe, and comment. So I think I think Google has images for all of these actions, so we'll probably just put them directly in here in some way or another. And then we'll just get some squares opened up. Usually I'd sketch this out with a drawing, but I didn't think Affinity Photo was gonna download and install in time, being that I recently switched over to my other laptop for this thing, so it's a little different. And we go about there. Something about there. And that's pretty close, if not super exact, but we can use spacing tools and stuff to get more exact later. I think I can actually, there should be a way to move it apart. Swift color. Maybe not right now. Measure tool. That's not exactly what I was hoping for. Oh, there. So there's these ones. Shift click, move down. And I have to go and get some text down here at this point then. So now that one's kind of done, we're gonna use just icons there. Should be pretty good. Whoops. I suppose since this is a design program, I'll turn off the logo for right now too, just because there's some transform information that I'm messing with down there. So then we have the times, is what was up there. And I guess we're gonna put some, so maybe instead of using an icon up here for welcome, we'll actually put something in here. So it might be like, move that up here, and then this up here. And then we'll probably put some text in here. So what's a text then? So make a bug-free frame. So Control A for control select all. Not gonna mess with the point size. I am gonna mess with, I want what is this? Courier new. So I want to use Courier new. I usually use the bold or bold italic. I'll probably use bold italic here. And the reason I use bold, what is it? No, the reason I use Courier new is just because I kind of like the text. It's simple, it's easy to read. I don't have to worry about it being too bad. The one thing that people will comment on is it's a monospace font, which doesn't necessarily always look the nicest, at least from a design perspective for certain designers. They get very do not use. And I mean, I get that in some point. It's not a super interesting font, but being a monospace, it is easier to whoops, it is easier to space things out because of the mono space and the mono weight. And it really looks nice in terms of this is makes it look more like a technical application, like a application design. And the reason behind that comes from this is basically it, Courier New isn't the one that it used to be, but Courier was used in a lot of was used in pretty much all of the database application programming programs. So because of its monospace and it was easy to read on a screen, so it was just used for clarity and kind of like now Consolis. Consolis is like Microsoft's big thing for Visual Studio. Their new font it used to be Cascadia Code, and I don't miss the zeros from Cascadia Code whatsoever. They were hard to tell the difference between that or an 8, and it was just really a pain. Um, that dot was really irritating. So maybe we make this like the welcome. Maybe we make this welcome. Maybe we like scale this up a little bit. And kind of anchor that down into the corner. Semi-line up that W with the rest of the squares and whatnot. Maybe a little, whoa, maybe a little smaller. Oh, so if I hold shift, it skews it. Then I'll probably do some more embellishments and stuff later. I'll probably adjust this color quite a lot until I'm happy with it. I just don't want everything to be very abrasive. Let's go to shape tool and get some ellipse tool. And we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna go, we could go kind of oval, something like that. And I'm just gonna black fill that one. Because all it is that I'm thinking for like the spots I had here, I just kind of I want to do something like that. And not necessarily the opacity, maybe the opacity, because this is a screen graphic, so we can play with opacity a little bit better. Still don't want anything that's going to be real shocking. Maybe we could go white on the text. Because again, if I had like a white display screen up here, it'd probably be different. But usually it's not. Usually it's like at least shaded in gray around it, and we can pretty well distinguish, and that would not be a problem. So let's go ahead and continue with that. I'll figure out how to mask and do things with that later, but I'm just going to hold that on screen. So Alt Shift, that's that one. So maybe we want to just pull open our, I'll minimize that thing again so that we can see more of what I'm working on. Times. Okay. And then, so I'll probably do, it's kind of hard because I can't read that text. But anyway, so it's something to do with Tuesday, right? Tuesday. Tuesday is at 6 p.m. That is and then let's make this a little smaller. Again, this will be full size on the screen, so as long as I don't make it something like 20, that's probably gonna be hard to see. I want it to take up a good amount, but I don't want to force it. So what point is that? 52 point? Should really change how this is measured into pixels, but that requires looking up how to change the settings. I'm too stubborn for that. So then let's pull open that one. Let's just get our 3 days right here. So then there's the Thursday. So Thursday at 6 p.m. What do we have then? Thursday at 6 p.m. we have code. No, we don't. We have, oh, here we go. We have arts, art stream. No. We have variable. Variable. And then we're gonna have art on this day. And we might be doing a little restructure on some of the schedule, simply because, actually, you know what, I don't like how this is done. Control A, Control X, Control C. I want to delete this. Go in here, add a line. And I just wanted to do that because it's going to be a little easier for me to edit some of the fonts and stuff. And something like that. Then let's do Saturday. Saturday. Alright, and then at this time, oh, I can put tabs in the code. So let's do a colon. Where there we go. Where? And why do we do all that? Well, I just wanted to kind of keep a track of this. So everything starts on a new line. Very legible, kind of. Once we add some, if I can figure out how to add some line spacing, I'll probably do that, or adjust the line spacing. Let's see text. Text. I don't know. Yeah, the thing about going to a new program is just you don't know where anything is. Even if they make it really similar to one you've used, it'll be a little weird. Paragraph style. No style. Let's do a new style. Let's do a I don't know. I'm just gonna call it um frame underscore txt, and then I should be able to go in here, variants, figures, capitals, paragraph, spacing, left indent, right indent, first line, line outdent, spacing before, spacing after. I can't move this. That's before and after paragraphs, so don't want that. Hmm. Bullets and numbering, font, colors, decorations. I kind of forget a little bit of the language that is around this. Which doesn't help. Spacing should be something like line height or something, shouldn't it? We can adjust. That's just for justification. That's not very helpful. Um, just hit enter. So where's, can I not? What's this button do? Force pixel alignment, rotate, flip, retina mode, revert defaults, export persona. It's nothing to do with my personas. Font color, character style. It's weird. Alright. It's weird. Because I should be able to affect my line height somewhere. Design. Is it? What was padding? Compound with padding. Layer. That's like individual letters. That's not what I want either. Select the space horizontally or the space vertically from the toolbar alignment menu. That's for objects. So that's not really what we want for this one. Hmm. Maybe check paragraph. Frame text. Whoops. Hmm. Oh, it's kind of cool. It's building like a color palette over here. That's fun. But where is my paragraph spacing? Hmm. Syntext. Character traits. No. Size. No. Spacing. And all it says is loosen and tighten. What does that even mean? Capitalization, alignment, paragraph, leading, leading, leading. Where, so it's in text, it was in paragraph leading. So let's try just alt up. I think if I just go, there we go. So it gives like a normal, and then we can adjust it by all selecting and then moving it around a little bit. Okay, so that's a little different than a text panel that you get in a lot of the Adobe products. So text handling might still be better there, but I'm not gonna bother. Um, it looks like I can keep creating new, or can I? Huh. Yeah, text looks like it's a little harder to manage. Um, but I mean, for what it cost me, I can deal. What do we want to do then? Where that's probably gonna head. So that's gonna be like our, if I need to put a Discord in here, or if I need to put a link to YouTube or Twitch or whatever here, then I can do that. Um, then we can move some. Looks like I moved my. Oh, I didn't really move it that much. Like there. Could have probably moved it to like see if I can get them to share the same baseline, but it doesn't look like I really can. But what if I shift and now it's a selection. So as one object, if I click and drag, it forces scale. But when I shift click, it doesn't force scale until I shift. Odd. Let's semi-center that. Touch that one down just a hair because I don't think that baseline's quite right. Um, that's probably looking pretty good. So then let's mess around with a few more things if we're still doing okay, which doesn't tell me there's any red flags here at all. Still looks okay. So we can go ahead and move that down. And we'll just start seeing what we can set up and if we can get some masks going. So everything should be fine. Like I was saying before, I was kind of thinking this red. I was thinking this red, right? And I'm just kind of. I think that's getting a little dark. It's not very red then. I want to kind of fight with the, not fight with, but contrast with that white. Maybe that slightly lighter is a little bit better, a little more readable. At least it was on my screen. Um, but we'll keep going. We'll look at maybe get. Oh, not what I wanted. Now I want to start moving some of these around. Control C. Can I do Control D? Nope. It's a very different command in here. I think I'll do this just to kind of soften the corner. I just kind of wanted to rotate so that they have a little bit of a. Ah, so it is Control. Nice. Something like that. And this is usually looked at as a bad idea to have the um, this line in the text. It is a bad idea, but I'm planning on putting this slope. I think the solution to solving my problem earlier is just to make these spots low opacity and not the whole bar because I don't know that that would be any help. So I just want to make this opaque, less opaque. Yeah, less opaque there. And we're just gonna go, I'm gonna throw that one in the corner. So then maybe Alt, just Alt. I kind of like having the spot down underneath that frame. Um, Alternatively, we could just make big spots. Would that look? We perfect opacity this thing. So this would be black right here. And we'll just position that so that it's a little better aligned like where I want the image to be. That looks pretty good, so. But I think Yeah, it just needed to be a little smaller because these guys are like 150 pixels, right? They're probably circle images, not going to be that square. So they'll fit on there pretty nice. And I need them to probably, so maybe we get, um, maybe we delete that one. So let's say we space these out a little more, right? So we go up maybe cornerish. Probably want to come in a little bit. We're already pretty close to the edge on the other one. So we could use a little more padding that way, or in that direction. And then this one. So a big dot might look kind of dumb here. We'll see. Is this refreshing? Is this working? We'll find out. Um, so we're pulling down. That still includes the corner. This isn't loading at all. Okay, I guess we're done. Hmm.